up, gangling? Carolina Jackpot time coming at you. It is Thursday morning. I hope everyone's doing well today. Your boy Carolina Jackpot is a bit under the weather, so I got one more project to knock out, and then I'm headed to the house. I'm going to try to get to feeling a little bit better so I can roll into the weekend. I figure I'd get on here and talk about this Juice Wells possibly returning to South Carolina rumor, and that's all it is right now, is a rumor. There's no movement to that story right now, but they're just telling us to possibly keep an eye on it because, look, he's taken a couple of visits. Apparently he's not getting offered the NIL money that he wants or thinks that he's worth, so he could be turning back around and coming back to South Carolina. Would South Carolina take him back? Absolutely. I mean, you can't. I'm not sure of the legalities of this anyway, but when you enter the transfer portal, I mean, I don't know that necessarily means that you have dropped out of school, because he is technically he's a student athlete, although I highly doubt he does a whole heck of a lot of coursework, but he's still a student athlete. I don't know that if they want to come back, I don't know that you can tell them they can't come back. Now, I'm not sure on that one. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an expert on all the rules and regulations, but I would think he's free to come back if he wants to. And I've heard all kinds of things. Fans, some don't want him back. And if you say you don't want him to come back, I mean, you're just dumb. That's just a petty take. We're going to prove a point here. You left and you screwed us and you stole our money and blah, blah, blah. Well, look, I understand why they feel that way, but he was paid money from the Garnet Trust, the Carolina Rise, wherever he was paid it from, or his NIL last year. He was paid for his name, image, and likeness. He wasn't He wasn't paid to play football. So technically what he did, morally what he did was wrong. That being being healthy after about the fourth or fifth game that he had been out injured and then refusing to play the rest of the year. Morally, it was wrong. From a legal standpoint, I don't think it was. So that too could be one of the reasons why he's not found a landing spot yet. I mean, if I'm a coach and I'm coaching a program, I don't necessarily know that I want somebody who did that. I mean, even though he is very talented, still got a year to play, could probably help your team out tremendously. I'm just not sure if I'm wanting to deal with that just because of the drama that could possibly come from an individual who does things like that. Now, I mean, if you're in the position where he already plays for your team, he's already part of your university like he is at South Carolina, then that makes it a little bit easier to, just bring him back. So, yeah, they'll let him come back. And then there's fans out there saying, well, he needs to apologize to the fan base. Look, that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen because he doesn't think he did anything wrong. And like I said, from a legal standpoint, he probably didn't do anything wrong. The best way that he can offer an apology if he were to come back to South Carolina is to ball the hell out. Go out there and go for over 1,000 yards. Do like Xavier Leggett did last year. Have just an outstanding season. That's what he can do to apologize. But I would obviously take him back with open arms and water under the bridge, because the bottom line is I want us to start winning some football games. I'm tired of this poking around, this mediocrity, this banging the head against the wall mentality of we never can get over the hump. Just tired of it. Just absolutely tired of it. Somebody said on a comment on our live stream last night, Carolina Jackpot might be the most pessimistic Gamecock fan. Yeah, I probably am. I probably am. I'm pessimistic. I expect the worst. That way, when the worst happens, I don't get as disappointed. If you'll notice, I didn't get all up in arms over 5-7 this year. I mean, I was upset. But I wasn't throwing things mad, quitting on the team like I did that time last year. Because you know why? Because I knew it was coming. I thought 6-6 was the most logical record for South Carolina. They were a terrible 2 minutes worth of defense against Florida, away from being exactly what I told you they were going to be. Exactly what I told you they would be. So that's why I was not that upset over the way things panned out. Now, some of the transfers that have come in, we've already talked about that. I don't think I've talked about the receiver McGowan, who comes from Vanderbilt. He's from Lawrence, South Carolina. Kind of potential slot receiver type guy. I think it's going to be a good pickup. I think the young man from Coastal will probably be I think that's probably going to be the best pickup that they've made. They're still entertaining some people this week. Of course, they signed a interior defensive lineman from Pitt. Young man, his last name is Jules. I don't know. A lot of people are excited about him. I just want to warn you, he was at Pitt for like 5 years. And in 2023 was his best statistical year. But he played for Pat Narduzzi, a defensive-minded coach. Pitt's kind of a blue-collar program. They kind of had a bad season this past year, but they normally produce some pretty good talent along the interior part of the defensive line. So maybe there's something that they can work with this guy. Still would like to land the guy from Texas A&M as well. And then there is, I haven't heard anything else about the quarterback from Vanderbilt, A.J. Swan. I don't know. I'd be surprised, though. I'd kind of be surprised if he didn't become a Gamecock. I think McGowan is probably recruiting him harder than anyone else to come here. And look, I know, he's going to run the door shutters off because y'all bringing in another quarterback. They have to bring in another quarterback. They don't have enough bodies on the roster there. This time last year, they were blessed with a ton of quarterbacks. They had like 6 of them on the roster. Everybody transferred out because they weren't going to get any playing time. Of course, Braden Davis went to Syracuse, and then Colton Gauthier and Tanner Bailey have both hit the transfer portal. Spencer Rattler's gone. So there you are. And Luke Doty, I don't know what Luke Doty is anymore. I don't know if is he a receiver? I think he is a receiver. I think that's where they want him to be. Is he a quarterback? He can play quarterback. We know that. He's serviceable. So, offensive lineman also visited, I think, yesterday and today, a young man named Miller Moss, who is from Texas Tech. And this guy, he's been at Texas Tech for a couple of years. Really good player, and he's originally from Columbia, Missouri. And he's visiting in Columbia, South Carolina. But he ended up at Texas Tech to play. That's kind of weird, isn't it? One would have thought he would have played for Mizzou. Anyway, Miller Moss, offensive line target for the Gamecocks, would be a nice pickup. So anyway, guys, that's about all I've got to say today. Callaway's College Football Pick'em Challenge. You only have the rest of today, tomorrow, and up until noon on Saturday, or whenever the kickoff is of the Myrtle Beach Bowl, to get into the contest. We got about 22 folks in here so far. Really, really disappointed so far in the participation in that. And I know, Carolina Jackpot, it's Christmas. I can't afford to give $20 to that pot. Look, you'll spend $20 on going to Starbucks. You'll spend $20 at the convenience store. Get in this damn contest. It's $20 to enter. And if you take home the pot, you're going to have something nice to help pay some of your Christmas bills off. It's a one-time shot. You get on there, you pay your money, you Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App the Carolina Jackpot, and then you make your picks against the spread. All those ball games are there. I think there's like 41 of them. So what I would do is I would go over there on the Rob and Kel Show website. I would, in my spare time, I would send my money in. because I need it to front for a while, because I need to buy something to support my crack habit, and then return it later on. But no, I'm just kidding. I would go ahead and pay the money, and then I would kind of research those games out, just kind of, just skim over each one of them, make an educated pick, and then submit. And that's all you got to do. And then you just sit back, kick back in your recliner, crack open a cold one, and just watch the games pour in and to see what you got right and see what you got wrong. Hopefully you get more right than you got wrong. And the winner will be the person who obviously picks the most correct. And we'll use the playoff game, or the national championship game, as a tiebreaker if we happen to have a tie. We've never had a tie before, so there would be a precedent set there. Hopefully, a Florida State person doesn't win it, and then we have a tiebreaker and they lose the tiebreaker because they may try to take the case to court. Anyway, that's about all I got to say, guys. I will see you all later on. I appreciate it. Peace, and I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks, and hey, for the first time in a while I'm saying it, go Coach Beamer. Woo!